and welcome. Name's Derek. I sell physical media on eBay. Make videos about what I buy, sourcing videos, and videos about what sells. What sold videos. This is a sourcing video. 38 what I got. $10. That's some pretty good music. Not quite as peppy as a good birthday song, but it'll work. Don't have to stop. Thanks. So I went to that Keen, K-E-E-N, estate sales, talked to him a little more for a few seconds when I got there, and a little longer as I was in line and he was counting stuff up and we're conversing. Just about media and how much he sees, how much he gets, how many other media sellers he's, that come and go. He goes, there's a couple times, with the other company he was with, there were people that were just for CDs and people that were just for like DVDs and VHS. There were people that would buy books, but usually like the bigger hardcover books more often than any, not really paperbacks, not really cassettes or 8-tracks like I bought before. Because, but it varies, and because you could have been at a different estate sale and got all different. I was like, yeah. So I have tried in between the last one and this one. I did stop at one. There was a sign on the road, and I didn't mention it in any videos because there was nothing there. I was there for like an hour and a half, and there was nothing really worthy of any books, not even like any $10 books. And it was their first day, so like, and the amount of books that were there were probably 100. Maybe at the one I'm talking about now. The one that I just went to, different story, because he made a video and I was able to see that there was enough there. There was no Ian Fleming, and I asked him about it. He's like, no, I don't remember any James Bond anything, so I could have just been managing things. But that's what I was thinking I was looking at. However, the stop today, I started off with some CDs. We'll get to the books in a bit because there's a lot of like franchise type books in there. Quite a few of them, actually. Fairly good ones. So I ended up with these 6 CDs. Now, I believe one of them came up on scan. One of them did. So the other ones that did not come up on scan, I didn't do anything with. I'm sorry. I grabbed and put them in the bag because I wasn't really going to bother sitting there trying to figure it out when it's 25 cents a CD. So this one is called Bora Bora 2000. So I'm going to do a lot of this right here for this video. I'm going to try not to make it too long. So this is not typical of what I would do, but at 25 cents a piece, why wouldn't I? I'm going to go down here to CDs. Fortunately, it's a little farther down here. And it's showing a couple. So again, with this one, go there. Copy. I'm going to back up. Go to selling. Going to search for Bora 2000 and do that. There's going to be a lot of results. Anything come up to CDs? Nope. So I need to type CD. And go in here. Price highest. And there's one that was $25. Another one that was 22. Another one that was 12. So none listed, and the prices are anywhere from 12 to 22. Can I put it up for at least try it at that 25? Yeah. This is Best of Carnival. ARC 2 CD in Rio. I believe this is one that did come up. I think it was like $20 or something. Or I had like 3 sales. Nope, nothing. So this one here, and I am not going to do this for all of these. I'm just example. Best Carnival, Rio, CDs. All right, so the artwork down here, those are for singles. This one has 2 women on it. Oh, not CD, I wanted 2. Just to see if there's any listings people have. So 14 to 20 bucks. Southside Johnny, Sacrifice. Just quick scan, about 20 bucks. Carnival Jump, and these ones called Spice and Company, made in Canada. That's Spice and Company. So let's go Spice Company. That's company. Gonna have to really narrow it down with CD. 20 results. I took the word CD out. I put world in because I saw right down here. It's a little different. Well, it is different because it's a different world. That is what it's called. None came up on currently listed. Go down here. Just hit sold. And it kicked me out of CDs, so there's none that I've sold. Go here, Spice Company, World. Yeah, well, there's something for CD. 8, 10 bucks, so I might be able to put these 2 together for like $20, 15, 20 bucks. Right, so in between these is 25 cents each. $1.50, made my money. So I don't know how much I'll really use that unless I get curious. All right, so these are the books. There's 38 minus those 6, so there's about 30 paperback. Well, 28. I think there's 2 hardcovers in here. But these are just going to be the books that I grabbed, and these would have been a quarter, right? So this is a Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars. I just saw it on the shelf and put it in my bag. I figure worst comes to worst, it'll be 10 bucks. So this is a second special printing. That's going to mean a lot. From 1981. So 8, 10 bucks, 15, 20, 3,000. But definitely enough to buy for a quarter. So that's where I really don't mind the $10, $12 sales. Something like this, it's still going to be $4.47 to ship. I paid a quarter for it, so even if it sells for 10, that's $1.50 plus 30, $1.80. And then we'll round it up. That's $2 also for the price of the book. So I'm $2 and $4.47 is $6.47. Say it sells promoted, and there's that, and it's still $4, $3, give or take. Minor change, and then another 20 cents back on the final value fee credit. That's still, and then will it be something that'll sit around? No. So that's part of it's let's just say it's $10. It's something that will sell. All right. So Sybil. So this is possessed by 16 separate personalities. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I sold a library bind copy of Sybil. If not, then I still have it. But this is a paperback. So if I know I sold the book before, this is the 3rd printing, 1974. And the first printing was also 1974, so it was such a hot commodity item. So, wow. Okay, first printing, May 1974, second May 1974, third 1974. So it's definitely popular. Was it 10 bucks, 15, 20, 30? I don't know. I paid a quarter for these things. All right, this Dune Messiah, Frank Herbert. Some people probably just know it as Dune. Again, a quarter paperback. There's 2 of these in this mix. $10, 15, who knows, right? So all these, there's going to be a couple of them that most of these I even look up. The hardcovers I did. I wasn't going to spend another dollar, $5 on hardcovers, and 4 of them are duds. I don't mind that on a quarter. But there's that. This Doris Lessing. Yeah, it looks like that one cat from Through the Looking Glass, Alice in Wonderland, Cheshire. Let's see what it is. Grin and Wear, W-E-A-R, Wear It Inc. From Euclid. Oh. Use this cartoon coupon to get an additional $2 off any purchase of $10 or more. There was a, yeah, that definitely looks like Cheshire. There's a YouTuber I can't say I watch. I listened to a couple of the things, and he does a lot of like vintage advertising. There's also people like Auction Professor, where he does a lot of paper goods. But this other one I'm talking about, he gets like old magazines, just cuts out old advertising for perfumes and jewelry and watches and some clothing, and he sells them for 10, 15, 20, 30, $50 for a cutout advertisement. There's a market for all kinds of stuff. But I know there's a bookmark in here too. There it is. All right, Doris Lessing, Briefing Descent into Hell. Well, that's definitely enough for me right there. Descent into Hell. It's a cool eyeball graphic. It's a vintage book. Ex Libris, Linda Brooks. Oh, might be that person. All right, so this one, we'll go Lessing. Yeah, that might be a dud. But I will get a picture of it and list for $10. See what happens. People just want it because they can see it's a real picture. It's not a stock photo. They can actually see the condition of it. Whatever reason, people will buy stuff for a couple more bucks. I mean, if it's a $7, $8 book, if I put it up for 10, if it doesn't sell in 6 months or a year, it's a quarter. Well, it was. All right, Ray Bradbury. Something Wicked This Way Comes. It is a movie. And then I think the continuations of that were sometimes they come back or sometimes they come back again, or maybe that's a whole different franchise. Maybe that was Stephen King. I don't know. But Bradbury. Sometimes. And again, with the woman's name in it. 23rd printing. So this is 1983. Again, it may just be this specific artwork that's on it that's going to be the determining factor. Yeah, so they're 12 to 15 bucks. 16, almost 30, that one. So we will go here, go to sold. And yeah, it's probably 15 to 24. All right, so not a whole lot, but there we go. All right, so I'm not going to look all these ones up. This bodybuilding, I've learned pretty quick on some of these weird and obscure bodybuilding books, weightlifting, and some of the vitamins, nutrition, the cayenne pepper one, that sold for 180 bucks. I forget some of the other ones. That's that one bigger one. I forget his name, but that was like $140 paperback, and then some other ones, right? So pick that one up. Okay, these ones are definitely ones I didn't look up, but for a quarter, college physics, contemporary issues, chemistry. So if any of these sell for 10, 12 bucks, I'm in the good. Likely a lot of these are just going to be common print books of that time, but just never know. Oh, here's that hardcover. All right, so this one here, Metropolitan Life, I have another copy of this. It's listed like $40 or so. This is not signed, and it's a 7th printing, 1978 as opposed to 74. But I do have another one of this. It's, again, like $30. Couple stereo manuals, kind of stereo. Stereo receiver, these were 25 cents. Turntable. I had a couple more that just kind of gave back to him because the actual equipment was upstairs. We're in the same room, actually, where I got most of all these books at. So let me just do this so this bag stays out of my way. And there's that. And this pair of frames. So these are, they feel like they have the weight and feel of Bakelite. And that visual look, right? So I looked at here, and they are old school American optical SV or 5V2 or something. Get my magnifying glass and really look. But for $1. And I sell frames, right? So that can go there. All right, Continuum 2. I don't think that's one I looked up. Again, I'll do this Huxley. Could it be 10, $15? Don't know. I didn't look that one up, but 10, 15, 20, who really knows? Shirley Jackson, The Haunting of Hill House. So if you've never seen that Netflix series, it came out 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago maybe. That's a really well done series. I mean, when I started watching it, I was a stay awake binger for the whole thing that I watched. And I watched it a couple other times. I don't know. Since it is going to most likely be a horror, no, that's classified as fiction. So Jackson. Sometimes I'll put the author's name first, because if you start typing in things that, there we go, it'll find it a lot easier. Shirley Jackson. This will be an earlier printing, again with the woman's name in it. 1977, 36th printing. But let's see if that specific year comes up. It does not. Shirley Jackson, Haunting of Hill House. Go Fawcett. So I might have too much in here. So what I'll do, I will just start backing things out that don't need to be in there. Still nada. So it's a first Fawcett. Select all. Copy. It's a first Fawcett printing. So there may not have been a whole lot of them. So I'll go in here just to kind of ensure. Nothing. 1977. Nothing. So it is one that does sell. It has a lot of printings and issues, but not the specific one. So it could just be that completely different artwork that's going to sell, and it could be $50. I don't know. Because I took the chance for $0.25. Lady of the Bees. Interesting science fiction. Interesting graphic. $0.25. Right. I'm not going to keep saying $0.25. Omni-Strain, written by Cliff Patton, MD, was a newly developed unclassified mutant bacteria designed to destroy our enemy's oil. Instead, it threatened to wipe out the world. Sounds like that black goo, the black oil from X-Files. Hmm. Star Trek, motion picture, paperback. First book, 1979, first printing. It's I really don't have to guess to say that it's going to be $10 or more. Somebody's going to want it. The Young Yellow Dragon, translated as well. Looks like might be Japanese and Korean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know these dialects, right? But it is a translated book for a quarter. Analytics of Confucius, may as well. So these are cutting error on the book, right? So that should be nice and flat, but it's not, or nice and cut, but it's not. So that's a cutting error. That works for me. That's the John Campbell, science fiction. Don't know. 25 cents. Dune, Messiah. Hold on, the other one I don't think was that. Oh, it was. All right. Yeah, same one. In about relative the same condition. Mr. Sandler's Planet. You don't know. Quarter. Ellison Crowd. Yeah, so this one I did look up. One came up listed for like 75. I didn't do any solds. I'm really not going to do it for the video, but 25 cents. The Fall of Chronopolis. Barry Bailey. Cool science fiction book. A quarter. Robert Heinlein. This is most likely going to be a seller. Heinlein sells quite well. Now this I did not realize there were all these little notes on here. I don't know much about this one, but I will look it up. But somebody wrote all over this cover, so it could just be a reader's copy, display copy. They just put on their collection right there, and it's a nice, clean spine. Alien, like my poster book. The pages are there. Yeah, those ones are a tad loose. And it is missing pages. So, same thing could apply. I could put up missing first couple pages, $10 book. Just because it's missing something or it's damaged doesn't mean it's not worth something. That is definitely a collector thing. Someone will just put that right on their shelf. Pay $10 to just have a display piece. The Guardians, don't know, just grabbed it, quarter. E.T. Young Drew Barrymore. And this is Book Club Edition, August 1982. Berkeley, 1982. So an early one, but for book club. Time Machine 8, I didn't notice that, but still I looked in there like $15. Daughters of Copper Woman, don't know. And this Lights in the Dream, I scanned and it came up high. If it's nothing worthwhile, looks like it's even signed. It is. If it's worthwhile, they were listed for like $60, $70 or something. But it's signed, so there's that. So all in all, if it's 40 items, $10, it's likely $1,000. So that is a not typical way on how I really buy, but at 25 cents, and I could be picky about what I'm spending 25 cents on. Yeah, I'm going to come back with some stuff, and even if 10 of these things are just ultimately not ever going to get listed or just eventually get tossed within a year from now, still made my money for the time that I spent. I left it at 10:30 because I started at 11, got back about one. For my time, yeah, it's worth it. So that's going to wrap that one up. Like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned. Mess that one up. Oh yeah, the thummy thingy up. Comment down below. Subscribe, share. It's all free. They help me. Help all kinds of other people. Appreciate it. Thank you.